How's it going, ladies and Bruce? Up, Bobby Sixkilla. Welcome back to Abyss of the Sacrifice. It's time for us to continue off where we left off, working our way down the list on this next chapter of episodes or whatever here. We're moving into Olga, who's probably one of my favorite characters so far. I like Olga, I like Jitka, and the others seem a bit testy, but I guess we'll see how that pans out. Time for tea. I don't have tea, I have coffee though. Olga wandered around, looking for water. Her throat was already dry. She'd been walking for hours, but still no luck. Earlier, their water supply depleted, and they split into groups to find more. But Olga's partner Chloe had taken off somewhere. She assumed water would be easy to find. Why would you partner her with Chloe? They're always fighting. But when she searched for her own, all the sinks were dry. All of the earthquakes must have caused the pipes to malfunction. As a result, Olga had to walk a long way searching for water. If she couldn't find any, the girls might not survive. She pushed her tired and thirsty body onward. Suddenly, she saw a clearing. A park? There might be water here. Okay, search. Well, I mean, that's water, isn't it? Does it look like this could be drunk? Is that a weird word? No, it's a weird way of saying it. An empty can. What about this? Looks like it's getting power. I can't use my money card during a state of emergency. But it's a state of emergency. And we need a coin. Okay, and we can't look at a new area, so can't rest now, have to look for water. Okay, there has to be something here then. Bring in the coin slot. Okay, I put the can in it. We recycled the can and the coin came out. I'm very excited about that. Put a coin in the machine. Great, something came out. A single can of tea tumbled out. It was neither warm nor cold. But the liquid felt so good to hold. She wrapped both hands around it. It had taken so long to find this single can. Everyone was probably waiting eagerly for her to come back with water. But Olga felt her own throat tingle with thirst. She put her finger on the tab. Don't drink it yourself, that would be monstrous. She flipped it, and the can made a satisfying pop. Suddenly her nose was filled with the nice smell of tea. It was just a cheap ready-made tea, but Olga loved the smell of tea in general. She hadn't smelt that nostalgic, familiar scent in a long time. That room always smelled of tea. Her father was very particular about his tea leaves, blend, and preparation. It wasn't a bad scent at all. In fact, it calmed her whenever her father called her into his office. But there you are, Olga. Her father's deep voice would suddenly make her freeze up. You wanted to see me, father? Indeed. A heaviness loomed in the air. Olga became increasingly nervous as she wondered what her father would say. He was usually in a bad mood whenever he called her into his office. No matter how hard she worked, he always said that it wasn't enough. He would scold her for not being a worthy daughter of the family. His office was where all this happened. But I heard you had the top grades of all your latest tests. Yes. She was confused. Her father was talking not about her failure, but her success. She started to feel hopeful for praise. It would be the very first time. But what he said wasn't anything new. That's good. Rather, I wouldn't accept anything less. Huh? I don't need any stragglers in this house. You must always aim for the top, Olga. She bit her lip and looked down. Understand? Yes, sir. I just want my father to accept me, that's all. One day, Olga slipped unnoticed into the kitchen. She'd come up with a small plan. It came from her desire for her father's acceptance. She would surprise him with a perfectly prepared cup of his favourite tea. That was her plan. She always laughed at this childish idea once she was older. But at the time, to get her father's approval, this was the best and fastest way. It may have even been a form of revenge. Olga's father was the type of man who had specialists blend his tea leaves, and only allowed an exclusive maid to touch them. That was how particular he was about his tea. If he knew Olga had touched his tea, he would be furious. But if she could serve him the perfect cup, just the thought alone excited her. But if the maid caught on to her plan, the whole thing would be ruined. She would be reported to her father and scolded. She had to move quickly and with caution. Where are those tea leaves? Oh my god, I'm searching in a memory. I don't know, where do you keep tea leaves? In the cupboard? There's a teapot. Should I go with this pot? I guess. I mean, a pot's a pot, right? I mean, probably not to her father, to be honest, but whatever. It's the latest model, so it'll probably boil water really fast. I guess I need to fill it first. This thing really... Okay, can we get that? Where's the freaking item? Oh, here we go. Obtained a kettle. Obtained tea can. Like a toucan. What does this say? Put tea leaves into pot. Okay. I think I can manage that. No? Tea leaves, pot. Use. Well, no. Maybe I need to fill it with water first? I'll put water in the kettle first. Now can I mix them together? Oh my god, really? Maybe put it on the... If it tells me I do it wrong because I didn't put the tea leaves in first like it said to, then I'm going to be annoyed because it didn't really give me the option. Now use them? Can I just search the tea thing? No? I'm confused. The tea leaves in the can are moist. Okay. You're confusing me. The pot is empty. Oh, I see. I don't know anything about brewing tea. Jesus. Let's put the tea leaves in. See? See? I don't know anything about this. I just drink coffee. Put the boiling water in the pot. Yikes, it's hot. I really need to be more careful. It's fine. There's tea in the pot. Now what? Oh, come on. Empty the pot? No, why would I do that? Where's a cup? What is this? Tea leaves are in here too. Did I not just put tea leaves in the thing? Maybe I'll go with this cup. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble. I feel like I've already messed up. Now what? Done. Empty the pot. What am I doing? Like, it's done, right? I just made tea. There may be more tools in the back of the... Maybe I need, like, milk? Does it need milk? Warm up both pot and cup. I gotta warm the cup up? Fuck, who cares, man? It's just tea. Jesus. What is this? Pick up paper from garbage bin? Looks like some kind of memo. It's part of the frickin'... part of this. Here we go. It's the rest of the tea recipe. Put tea cozy on the pot and steep for 3 minutes. Put tea leaves in pot, put boiling water in pot, put tea cozy on pot and steep. Yeah, keep going. Stir the tea as you pour it into the cup. Oh my god. Finally found the tea cozy. Which would be helpful, except we can't open the pissing thing that has the proper tea leaves in it that we actually give a shit about. How do we open that? No pixel hunting, please. Not a fan. It's gotta be written somewhere, right? I mean, yeah, but where, right? It's a continuation of the tea recipe. Looks like it doesn't match perfectly. That means something's missing. Oh my god, there's actually writing there. Does it say 735? Why is the 7 that way and the 3 and 5 that way? Let's try 735. It worked! Holy crap. It opened! The tea leaves are most important. Alright. I don't have a spoon to stir this crap, but in theory, we can sort this out now. During the making process, we'll put the hot water in the freaking cup so that it has time to get hot. Not that I understand what difference it fucking makes. Put that in there. Please, for the love of God, let this be it. Wait 3 minutes. See, that's it. We gotta wait the 3 minutes, and now the cup will be hot. Because it's been 3 minutes. Right? Empty the cup. Pour the pot while stirring. Olga started to fall. The tea leaves in her hand flew into the air, and she was surrounded by a delicious smell. That was a fucking nightmare. My goodness, miss, what happened here? Oh no, I messed up. It seems the maid didn't tell Olga's father about her mistake though. He never scolded her about it. A few days passed. What's this? One day when she got home from school, she found a small box on top of her desk. It was a beautifully patterned, vibrant wooden box, apparently made by hand. The contents shifted slightly as she picked it up. Oh no, a puzzle box? Okay. What are we trying to do with this puzzle box? Not that. Is that good? I don't fucking know. Maybe that's good. I don't know. RB. A box with a wooden mosaic pattern. There's a hole. Ah. What does that mean? I need to take one of these out? Wait, let me look at it again. What the fuck? It's different. Are we trying to fill that hole? Or are we trying to put the hole in a different spot? Interesting. What are these? There's a hole. That hole looks different. Like that. What? Now we got another fucking hole. Oh, and this is the pattern, is it? Probably a hint to open the box. Maybe related to the box's pattern. So, a straight line across? We need to get rid of the patterned ones. Right? That's actually pretty challenging. Can we... Or maybe it's like that, where we're just getting them all across like that. Did that work? No. There you go. So the first time I did see that button, it was right. I just didn't click it right. I don't know. She opened the lid. Suddenly a sweet smell wafted into her nose. The box is filled with beautiful, finely ground tea leaves. Olga's eyes widened. The smell. There was no doubt about it. This was her father's favourite blend. She quickly looked at the lid and saw it labelled with her father's favourite brand. Father, she whispered quietly as she clasped the box in her hands. Olga suddenly jolted back to reality. She seemed to have been standing in a daydream for a while. The smell of the tea must have opened a door to her memories. The faint scent of the tea in her hand. Couldn't hold a candle to her father's favourite tea. But she closed her eyes and took a sip. A delicate bittersweet flavour and pleasant moisture flowed down her throat. She felt the strength come back to her body. Just a little, Father. I'll find water and bring it back to the group. She drank down the rest of the tea and continued her search. Good luck and Godspeed? I thought it usually says to be continued. Oh, I forgot to save. That took me half an hour. But I feel like once I cut it down, it'll only be 15 minutes. So let's just jump into Chloe's one. What ifs? Wow. Chloe's tone could have been interpreted as either complaining or astonishment. I remember this door. That's a pretty sturdy wall. The giant iron wall blocked the group's way. From its mechanical appearance, it was clearly equipped with several layers of locks. This class of lock is probably under the Administration Bureau's jurisdiction. The Administration Bureau? Then breaking through it would be impossible. Olga sighed. She knew how strong the Administration Bureau's control systems was. We might be able to get somewhere if we cut this electrical supply. Olga and Chloe shook their heads at the same time. That won't work. That won't work. They glanced at each other awkwardly after speaking at the same time. Olga spoke again. If we cut the electricity supply, it won't be able to open and close. It'll just be a giant slab of iron. That'll just make it even more impossible to open with human strength alone. We're out of options then. Chloe watched as Olga and Asuna frowned and fell silent. Then she slowly began to speak. Not necessarily. We just have to access the Administration Bureau server. Olga's eyes grew as big as saucers. You can't be serious. Does that mean you have an account on the Administration Bureau server? Chloe smirked. Of course not. Then how are you planning to get access? With a confident smile, Chloe jutted her chin in the direction they'd come from. Remember how on the way here we passed by a computer terminal room with an active network? Yeah. Well, we're going back there now. She spun around and started walking. What? Wait for us. The four other girls hurried to catch up. Once back at the computer terminal room, Chloe sat in front of one of the computers. Okay, I'll start with this one. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. Wow. Jitka was impressed. So you want to break into their server from here, but is that even possible? Olga interestedly peered over Chloe's shoulder. First, we have to tame this terminal. Her fingers looked like they were flying across the piano keys. Is it that easy? Asuna asked suspiciously, making Miki similarly turn her head to Chloe. It's not easy, but it's also not impossible. After a while, Chloe's fingers stopped. Did you do it? Chloe's face remained expressionless. I told you it's not that easy. Now the real game begins. She stood up slowly and turned to Olga. Hand me that headset over there. Olga looked surprised. You mean this one? Isn't it for virtual reality? Is that how you're going to connect to the server? Chloe grinned. That's right. It's the fastest way for me to dive in. Oh my god, are we solving a puzzle inside virtual reality? A few years ago, Chloe was always hanging out in this place. Not that it was an actual physical place. It was more commonly known as virtual reality, and it existed within the Foundation's sweeping network system. She went into the system every day, literally diving in. A sensory transducer allowed her to dive into the network as if it were the ocean. Using a specialized headset like this, in order to experience the virtual world, was a standard form of leisure. But for Chloe, it wasn't about leisure, it was about hacking. At the time, she was a remarkable hacker. There was not a single person in the virtual world who didn't know her name. She used the codename Priest. Through diving in and hacking servers, she earned fame for herself. Hacking with a headset was risky business. After all, entering virtual reality with a sensory transducer meant that all our electrical signals transformed into physical sensations inside the brain. All of the body's senses were completely blocked. Of course, it wasn't safe if the interaction was done with a legal sensory program. But when it came to hacking, the digitized intruder could be captured by firewalls, or even attacked by protection programs. And these programs did not, of course, hold back against the sensors. If the digitized intruder took damage, it would feel like real pain, and if the damage was powerful enough, they could die from the shock. That's why the number of hackers who used headsets to dive into the digital world was practically zero. But Priest was different. Her priority was to enjoy the thrill, and she had the abilities and godlike skills to evade and overcome the iron walls most hackers didn't stand a chance against. There was no area Priest couldn't enter. Everyone, including herself, believed that. She does seem pretty confident. One day Priest was travelling freely through the network. This time her goal was to hack a certain server. It was so elusive that it was known among hackers as an illusion. The hospital's back server. Not only had Priest found a server that no one had found before, but she was also going to try and raid it. True to its legendary status, it had the strongest barrier she had faced yet. But after several attacks, she finally made progress. Yes! Once she destroyed the first barrier, she continued ahead. She nimbly dodged some protection programs and covered up her footprints. As she proceeded deeper into the server, her goal was to find data that verified that. The hospital was conducting top-secret illegal experiments. If she could set up a backdoor that permitted access at any time, she would win the game. One more gate. Her heart was filled with thrill and delight as she pressed on. There it is. This is the last gate, and the treasure lay just beyond it. The priest suddenly frowned. There was something strange about the gate in front of her. It seemed someone had already opened it. What's this? A detailed scan proved that the data had clearly been tampered with. An intruder had already created an entrance. According to the gate's history, someone had come and gone 5 times in the last 3 months. The same ID was used each time. Priest had thought this was uncharted territory, and yet, this legendary hospital's back server had already been accessed by an outsider countless times. They had beat her to the price. I'm too late. Who the heck was here? Anger and humiliation bubbled inside of her. This was proof somewhere within the Foundation there existed a better hacker. This was hard to believe. She couldn't accept it, but it was the truth. Damn. This is her first ever failure. A few months later, she tried to hack into the Administration Bureau, which boasted the highest security. Not only was the server impregnable, it was also known as a hacker graveyard. Anyone who laid a finger on it would get crushed by the government. That's what all the rumours said, but this is also precisely why all the hackers essentially idolised it. The tremendous server was split into levels ranging from level 1 to level 7. Priest knew that much already. She was also up to date on the rumours. Many hackers had attacked up to level 5, but they'd apparently all been crushed under the government's thumb. No one had ever reached level 6 and beyond. There lay the Administration Bureau's top secret pile of treasure. And the topmost level 7 was only known to Deep Thought, the brains of the Foundation. Behind this level's gate slept the greatest knowledge and secrets one could imagine, or so the hacker whispered among themselves, with seeming truth. If it's true, I'll break right past it. This is what Priest naturally believed. But this challenge also offered a form of revenge for her bitter failure a few months prior. She hoped to succeed at the greatest achievement possible, in order to redeem herself of her humiliation. And so, with the smooth moves that her fellow hackers called godlike, she easily made it up to level 3. Now she had hacked into level 4, and was working on the final gate that led to level 5, and now the real game begins. Once the gate was unlocked, she carefully scanned her surroundings and thought. Her research had shown that level 5 and up was state-secret classified data territory. As the rumours suggested, the road ahead would be very risky to access. If a firewall or patrol guard program found her, her hacking data would be immediately erased. In other words, since she was using a sensory transducer, she'd be killed. But for now, she pushed those thoughts aside. What she had to be most careful about now was the Administration Bureau's staff at the illegal terminal recognizing something abnormal. Only very important people had the authority to access level 4, so the danger of being found was low, but not zero. As she hacked through the gates at the same time, she also looked into the current number of logins in the Bureau's server. A lot of people would access level 1 and 2. All of those logins were by monitors carrying out their daily duties. Level 3 had 0 logins, and on level 4, the only one who had logged in was herself. I should check level 5 and above just to be safe. She widened the scope of her scanner. There wasn't much to worry about. Even the Administration Bureau's top class couldn't access level 5 and 6 without a special permit. That was special territory. She'd already checked the permits, and there was no chance that the top staff would ignore the rules and suddenly log in. As for her goal, level 7, it was impossible for any human to access. The only being who could access it was Deep Thought, the main computer that controlled Foundation. In other words, it was what computers called a black box. Rumour had it that Deep Thought itself had set up these barriers 300 years ago. There was no need for priests to worry. No one would be on level 5 and above. But just as she was thinking this, there was an access signal to level 6. With the touch of a button, it opened easily. The ID was labelled Orange. Who is this? I've never heard this code name before. Priest panicked and dug deeper into the access history. Orange wasn't one of the IDs on the Administration Bureau's official list. This person wasn't administration staff. But in that case, they must be a hacker? But not only are they taking a risk by hacking into this level, they're flaunting their ID too. Whoever this is must either be a total idiot or a master hacker. On the other hand, an idiot couldn't get this far. It's happened again. Someone beat me here. Is it the same person who beat me to the hospital's back server? Priest's pride swelled. She had to beat this Orange to level 7 at all costs. Her mind went into overdrive. She used every skill in her book, slyly but recklessly continuing forward. Keep going. Keep going. Finally, she managed to catch up. There you are. Orange spoke. She acted like she'd been waiting for Priest to arrive. Priest's pride faltered. Who the heck are you? Why so bristly, Priest? Priest stopped in her tracks. How did Orange know her name? Unlike Orange, she wasn't flaunting her ID so everyone could see it. This was for security purposes, of course. Orange seemed to notice Priest's suspicion. You're Priest, right? If anyone could come this far, I assumed it could only be the famous Priest. Although this seemed to be a compliment, her tone was infuriatingly high and mighty. You came this far too, I guess. Orange's avatar's face remained blank as she smugly shrugged. Priest started to think. She wondered, could Orange have been one of the Bureau's anti-hackers? But then none of the government's dogs should have been able to surpass Priest. It was as if Orange could read her mind. Oh, FYI, I'm not one of the Administration Bureau's incompetent sweepers. Who is this person? It's like she knows what I'm thinking. Like, I would believe anything you say. As Priest bared her teeth, Orange let out a sarcastic laugh. What's so funny? You get mad so easily. You might be a good hacker, but you're just a child. What? Orange had completely taken over the conversation. Then, as if she'd had the whole thing timed, a seriousness came over her face, and she asked Priest an earnest question. Why'd you come to this dangerous server? What's it to you? I see. You don't even have a reason. What are you trying to say? In the end, this is all just a game to you. A game? Don't mock me. Despite Priest's anger, Orange was right. For Priest, hacking wasn't out of duty or work. It was just a reckless game on which to stake her pride and display her obstinacy and ability. All you want is to be the best. That's why when you noticed I was at level 6, you then came all this way from level 3 with complete abandon. Your technique and bravery are impressive, I'll give you that. But you're reckless. How am I reckless? None of the protection programs realized I was here. Really? That's good. Everything Orange said infuriated Priest. She decided to make her animosity more obvious. Race me, Orange. Race you? Yes, to see who can get to level 7 first. Orange paused for a second. It was as if she was caught between a state of shock and deep interest. But Priest had no time for this. How about it? Scared you'll lose? Orange smirked at Priest's increasingly challenging tone. Me? Lose to you? You've already lost to me twice. Priest was furious, but this also confirmed her gut feeling. I knew it. She was the one who beat me to the hospital's back server. There was all the more reason for her not to back down. Enough talk. I'm going to level 7. If you don't come along, you lose. She spun around and flew toward the next sector. This time I'm going to win. That was all I could think about. She beat me twice, but only because she had a head start. If we start on the same starting line, there's no way I can lose. Priest raced unwaveringly forward, with her sly and efficient rooting. She was sure she could win. She glanced behind to find Orange following her. She smiled to know Orange had accepted the challenge. She was in great shape. Even though Orange was in pursuit, she wasn't catching up. All Priest had to do was speed up and jump into level 7. Right, left, up, down. Doing the Konami code, she gracefully dodged some dangerous programs and continued forward, but gradually her composure started to falter. The distance between herself and Orange wasn't widening, but it wasn't shrinking either. Priest was suddenly afraid that Orange was simply observing her. But as the situation grew more serious, she couldn't be distracted by unnecessary thoughts. Focus. Focus. I should see the level 7 gate any minute now. Just then, Priest above you. Orange's command interrupted Priest's thoughts. She instinctively jumped aside. The protection program search missed her, foot by a hair. Looks like you're running out of steam, Orange called out. Mind your own business. My apologies, but I think you should stop here. She spoke quietly. Level 7 is deep thought territory. It's impossible for humans to access. You never know until you try. You'll get your brain fried. Dying at level 7 wouldn't be so bad. Stupid girl. Priest didn't hear Orange's muted words, but Orange's next phrase rang loud and clear. Then you'll have to get past me. Oh, we're searching. I wondered if there was going to be a search thing here and how the hell it would work. Are we doing some kind of freaking chess game? Oh, I don't even know how these work. And I don't know these letters. After losing in combat, raise own lowest power unit to 6 power. Alright, whatever. Try the little baby one, I guess. Lose. Well, I don't want to lose my strong ones early on. Maybe we can steal this unit. That's the way, I guess. We sacrifice our own dudes in the hope that that'll work. What does this thing do? In combat, own power becomes the total of current power and unit number of own army's remaining units. So that's quite a lot. So it's like, what, 8? Oh, great. Oh, wait. Why would you suicide that? You don't even understand what you're doing, do you? What the shit? Now that she's just throwing her units away. Well, now I can just put that one in. She'll go for a draw, like before. That one's an 8. But that one, like, if opponent's power is lower than half, yeah, so I can just throw this one in, lose, and then throw the little one at her and win. I feel like they didn't play out very smartly though. Because she kept throwing her units away, especially her best unit. How about you finally admit it? Yes, what? Suddenly a shrill alarm pulsated through Priest's brain. They found us. This alarm meant the Administration Bureau had run its fraud protection program. Soon enough, the offense data used to erase intruders appeared. It's the sweepers. That was fast. Damn, we're surrounded. But Orange kept up her calm poker face. End of the line, Priest. If you live through this, I'm sure we'll meet again. What are you talking about? Now that they found us, we've been locked in. We can't log out. This is why I called you naive. It's important to have an escape plan. What? It's been fun. See you later. With that, Orange disappeared, but Priest caught the last thing she whispered before vanishing into the thin air. Unfortunately, I doubt you'll get out of this alive. Left alone, the blood rushed to Priest's head. What the... Damn! A swarm of defense programs approached her from behind. She spun around and faced them. Piece of cake. I'm getting out of here alive, no matter what it takes. Oh shit, what? What do these things do? 9? After victory in combat, lower all opponents' units' power by 2. That's very strong. So I mean, this one lets us steal one of their dudes, but it'll be weaker, right? Will it reduce them first? Or do we get them after the reduction? God damn. What? More popped up? They just don't stop. Now I can suicide kill with that one, and this one. Oh, this one's a 7 now? After losing in combat, raise own lowest power unit to 6 power. What, raise it up 6 power, or raise it to 6 power? Because that's less. Right? I don't know, man. That makes you 6. And what are you, 9? Oh, this will okay. I think I got a plan. Copy power onto opponent. That one's power's 1. Now we can use this one. This will victory kill that one. Self-destruct, destroy opponent's strongest unit, which is all of them, right? Because they're all the same. Managed to win, I guess. She only had a few seconds, but she didn't let the chance pass her by. As if slicing through a net with a knife, she bashed out a destruction command to the firewall. Suddenly, a hole opened before her eyes. She'd succeeded. She slipped her body through the hole and jumped. She miraculously managed to log out. After that, she spent her days hacking without much change. But her days weren't aimless. She found a new goal. This goal was to find the hacker, who called herself Orange. She wasn't sure what she would do when she found her, but she scoured the digital world as if her life depended on it. Not many of her hacker friends had heard of Orange, so her leads were few, and it wasn't easy. But Priest was stubborn. She tracked down Orange's traces one by one, and analysed the intel and pursued her target. About half a year later, she finally ran into Orange again. I never thought we would meet here again. Orange spoke. I've been looking for you. Priest spoke quietly as she faced her target. I should have guessed. Orange shook her head. But I'm surprised you got out of that mess alive. You better believe it. I didn't have an escape plan like you, but I still made it out of there. What do you say to that? Don't tell me. Orange stared straight at Priest. You came all this way just to tell me that? Priest thought for a moment, but it felt like Orange was right. Yes. As she nodded, she realized that she just wanted Orange's recognition all this time. Interesting. Orange sighed and threw her arms into the air. Okay, I give up. You're definitely the best hacker in Foundation. Priest smiled. That was enough. Well, I'm leaving. Maybe we'll meet again someday. Just as she was about to log out, Orange said something strange. Do you know about the world above? Huh? It's even harder to get to than level 7. Do you want to come with me? What are you talking about? Let's go to the world above together. This time it was Priest's turn to be surprised. Chloe connected the headset to the computer terminal and finished some last-minute adjustments. I've never heard of hacking with a virtual device. Olga looked worried. Will you really be okay? Yes. Chloe put on her headset with a curt reply. Hey, have you ever not been able to log out? Asuna asked at the last minute. Chloe gave her a wry smile and murmured, Don't worry, it's important to have an escape plan. Nothing, I'm off. She set her fingers to the keyboard. I haven't felt this way in ages. Now that I've come this far, I feel like I'm unstoppable. I could probably even go up to level 7. One day I will, she thought. I'll show her I can do what she was never capable of doing. Then, that time for sure, Chloe followed the path toward her target program. To be continued. Whew, that was a long one. I've been recording this one for over an hour, so I might have to cut those last two in half. The T1 and that one because... is it the T1? Yeah, the T1. Because, they took fucking ages. Either way, this will either be a heavily edited single episode that has those two, or this will just be part. I don't know. We'll find out in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.